What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to Knoxville Nights, presented by Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps. I am Josh Gerlach. I am here with Blake Walker and Kade Higday. We have a pretty freaking awesome season championship night to recap here. Luke Lane won his first Pro Sprint Series feature of his career. Austin McCarl capped off another championship season. That's 3 in a row, 4 overall. In the 410s, and Kade freaking Higday got the dub, first time in a 360, closed it out with a win with the Knoxville Knights car in victory lane. It was pretty damn sweet. We're going to talk through all of that, and then we're also going to have an interview with Knoxville Raceway General Manager Jason Reed at the end of the show today. So we're going to go through all of that real quick. We're going to have a quick word from our sponsor, Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps.
A great sign is a surefire way to get people through the door. At Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps, we specialize in creating beautiful signs that capture attention and draw people in. Whether you're a business, school, church, bank, hospital, or event venue, we have the perfect sign solution for you. We make the process simple. From design to manufacturing to installation, our team handles it all. The right sign helps you stand out and attract more customers, so you want to get it right. Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps. Hashtag any sign, anywhere.
Big thank you once again to David Goodson, everybody at Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps for jumping on to round the season out for and with us. It's really cool having them as the presenting partner here. Also, make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're on our YouTube channel, especially. We have some cool plans. Knoxville Nights is not done. I know the regular season is over at Knoxville. We still have the late model nationals, but we are not done. We're not going anywhere, so make sure you're subscribed. We're going to have plenty of sprint car content and maybe some other stuff coming out at the beginning of next year. Blake, I know you've teased it a little bit. But otherwise, I think we're pretty much ready to dive in. We're going to get started with the three. You saw nothing, Blake. You saw nothing. We're live here.
I don't know if you just saw my comment in the private chat. When you went the intro video, I crashed. Like my
I
website.
saw that, yeah. I saw you go away, and then, yeah.
So glad we got that working.
Yep, we're all good.
Live, baby.
Nobody died. We're good. Yeah, let's just dive right in. I forgot to mention this. We'll go through the 360 portion of the night first. I think it only makes sense with what happened with Mr. Higday here. It was the best night of the year, I have to say. Nationals are pretty fun as well, but I think it was a pretty damn good 360 night.
Decent at best, I'd say.
So, I mean, just to start us off, you qualified fifth, pill draw of 29. That was a fun time for you. What was the track like overall? Track was juiced, kind of juiced. What was the track like on Saturday night?
I don't know. Qualifying, it was just like you had your one lane that you kind of had to run, and nobody really strayed away. I know Josh actually chewed my ass for not running the bottom in 3 and 4 yet. He wasn't up in the push-off lane telling me where to go. So,
hey, I do my best.
And honestly, I never would have thought drawing a 29, I would have been like the 16th car out. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, good qualifying run, and that just kind of set up the rest of the night.
Heat race, you go 5th to 4th. You just couldn't start on the top of a heat race this year. How many times did you start on the top in a heat race this year?
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, you just got stacked up. You got kind of stuck in a battle with McCain Richards for quite a bit, and he was really strong on the bottom. You could just tell both lanes were pretty even. Eventually got around him. I think you were gaining on the top 3 toward the end of the heat race. So that's when I kind of thought, okay, the speed's there. I mean, the car's got the pace. The invert is a 6, and finally the gods above have shined upon the 24H, and you got the invert right where you wanted it. You and Tony Ross, who honestly coming into tonight, obviously into the night, Tony had never won at Knoxville. Obviously you had won a championship here. You've been successful there, but 2 seasons that I swear most of the season when I'll go and talk to him and then I'll go talk to you, you're both complaining about the same thing issue-wise. I mean, it's just like we can't get this to work or we're just not putting this together. So it was really interesting to see both of you on the front row. Let's talk about the start. You hit the berm coming off turn number 4. When I went back and watched it, I was like,
yes, I did.
Oh, it's like could have maybe lost the lead right there. Talk about the start and how crucial that was. You were thinking about how are you going to go about the start?
Yeah, honestly, I knew if I got a good enough start, it didn't have to be a great start, but a good enough start to where I could slide and kind of get up in front of Tony, I'd be fine. But I didn't really have hitting the berm going off turn 4 on the green flag lap on my bingo card. But I kind of hit like a little extra wet patch down there, and it kind of like spun my tires, and it pointed the car down towards the infield, and then I was looking at the top of the sweets.
Got a good start though.
Yeah.
Blake and I were talking. As you get to know more of these guys, it is you get very conflicted when you see both of you guys because we know, like you said, we're saying, Blake. Tony's had an up and down season just like you have, and it was cool seeing you guys battle. You guys never touched. He was ripping it up top. You just never made a mistake, and we talked about that in Victory Lane in our Jetco trailer talk with you. And I know you kind of said that it was fairly easy, not the easiest, but after going back, I'm sure you've watched a little bit. What did you really have to think about the way the race played out?
I feel like that was honestly the first race that I've won that I strictly won it by making the right moves at the right time. I was scared to move up to the top in 3 and 4 and or leave the bottom wide open because I knew Tasker was back there. I know Tony can stick it when he has to. I know he loves to run the top too, so I kind of had him backed into a corner there. But I feel like I was really smart as far as like getting my tires warmed back up before I did go back up to the top on the restarts, and just for once in my life made all the right moves.
Yeah, I mean, because you were checked out. I mean, it seemed like the race kind of was 7-8 laps and then a yellow, 7-8 laps and there was a red. So I think you only ended up getting into traffic with 2 cars.
Yeah.
But then you had a little bit of a whoopsie moment there with Logan Alexander spinning in front of you. What was that like? I don't know, you probably didn't know how big of a lead you had, but you were running the top, he was up top, and then he was coming across the track.
Yeah, I kind of saw him, I didn't even really see him spin out. More like when I saw him get loose, I was like, ooh, I don't know if he's going to save that one or not. And then I was past him by the time he hit the berm and got upside down. Yeah. Yeah, but that wasn't really a super big pucker moment. It looks worse on the video than it was behind the wheel. I saw him start to spin out, and I was just like, he's going down, not up.
The big moment, I think, might have been early, could have been late. I cannot remember. You slid yourself going into turn 1. Tony, I think, went top, and you just slid yourself going in the middle of the corner. The dirty air really cut him off, and that really was able to get you away. Because in the first 10 laps or so, I mean, you guys were side by side for a good chunk of it, and it was just a matter of if you didn't slip or whatnot. With 6 to go, you're not going to catch lap traffic. Was it just if you could get off a turn 2 with the lead, did you think you had it pretty much locked up?
Yeah, for sure. And it was honestly I couldn't decide because I was sticking the bottom really good, but obviously my tires had cooled down under the stop, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to try to stick the bottom or slide and basically slide myself, kind of like I did, like you're talking with Tony. The only reason that I even slid him there was because I think he was about 3 car lengths too early showing me where he was at, because I knew I had to slide him and get the block on him. And then that was actually what made me go to the top in 3 and 4. And that once I started doing that, our race was just honestly pretty easy from there. My car worked really good, and that was definitely the move.
Do you think you would have had the confidence if you got heavy lap traffic? Obviously, Tasker was going to be there. We'll talk about the race itself here in a little bit, but did the car feel good enough to the point where you felt like you could make maneuvers if it came down to it in lap traffic? Yeah,
and I heard Tony for the longest time, and then I slid him and started running the top, and I lost the sound of him. And I kept looking up at the board and didn't see him anymore, so I was like, okay, good. I must have a little bit of a lead. So when I first caught lap traffic, I just drove in right behind the first one just to see how bad my car was going to be in dirty air, because I hadn't experienced it yet. And honestly, I drove in right behind the dude. He missed the bottom. I stuck it, and I was like, okay, we're going to be fine if we stay in traffic. And I honestly wish we would have, because I feel like I could have gotten through traffic really well and really gotten lost there.
So I know you had told us on Saturday night that you kind of went back to the basics on things. Do you kind of feel better, not, taking the win out of it? I know that's funny to say, but taking the win out of it, what you felt throughout the night in your car, do you feel better than kind of the way things had been trending there for a while?
Oh yeah, 110%. I never once lacked stability in our race car at all. We didn't really change a whole lot, even with the track getting a little bit slicker. Obviously, it stayed pretty heavy, but we ended up running the top, so it moved some. But yeah, for sure, 110% more confident in my car, and yeah, I wish I would have just done that a lot sooner in the year.
Yeah.
Just kind of thinking of the magnitude of it, what happened last year and whatnot, not to be blunt, but it's like at the lowest points of this year, did you think you were going to win again?
Not this year, honestly. I obviously I show up thinking like you have to show up thinking you're going to win.
Yes.
Otherwise you might as well just stay home.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it would really happen. You know what I mean? Like just the way our year's gone, we've had good qualifying nights and we mess it up in the heat race, or we've had bad qualifying nights and we run up through the heat race. And then, I mean, it's just always something that we're messing up at some point in the night. And this was honestly just the first time all year that we put the whole night together.
And Yorkie was telling me you were just very go about it, or I don't really know how to describe it, but it's the last week of the year. You had the break last week. You're just like, we're here.
You guys were all chill. You were all chill the entire night.
Yeah, just very chill.
Except for maybe Yorkie. Yorkie was a little stressed out.
Did that feel any different from any other night this year that you're like, I sure do feel different, just in the night in general, and you're not just worried about everything else?
I don't know. I always put a ton of pressure on myself, which I really shouldn't, but I take every race night the exact same way. And honestly, like judging off of the stability that I had in my car in qualifying, I knew we were going to be fine in the heat race. And then once we got through that and passed the car, I knew we were going to be sitting pretty good, and then just kind of switched gears mentally to, holy shit, we started on the pole. We got to win this thing now.
Did you celebrate hard enough? Like, are you content with the celebration?
More than content.
You were up. What time did you guys officially leave the track? It was 6 a.m. when you sent me that picture. You were still at the track.
Yeah, we went to breakfast with Morrow at 6, and I think we got home at like 8.
Insane. I stayed till about 1:45, something like that. We had pizza. Josh, play that video so everyone knows that. Yes, I did eventually drink a beer.
I was about to tease that. We did get, thanks to my grandpa Jack Herway, we got some nice visual evidence that Blake did have a Busch Latte.
Dude, I opened it and it was so fizzy.
It is interesting.
It was so fizzy.
It's not terrible.
It was terrible, I think, Blake. I think Blake thought it was terrible.
So fizzy. And like, I'm being completely genuine. Like, people legit did not believe me when I said I had never had a beer. And I had never.
We've got the proof.
So and I was really curious what it was going to taste like. I'm not a soda drinker, so like carbonation just kills me. So the first sip of that thing, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, this thing's worse. And then once a little bit later, you guys could testify. I'm like, I think nothing against Busch, but I was like, I can see where they get the watered down comment. So I was like, there's not much here. Like, it's just kind of,
it's a beer.
I don't know. It was interesting. But I'm happy that it happened this year. I was so worried it was going to happen when I wasn't there. Like if you went off to Burlington and won or something like that. I joked with Josh. I'm like, okay, now I don't have to go because he won. But I think I'll probably still follow you down if you go down there. But yeah, it was really cool. And that the fact that the whole track, like how I told Josh, I was walking down and people were literally like catching me on the way, like, are you gonna do it? It's so dumb.
So now we're gonna have to do that every time he wins. We're gonna find a different beer for you to try.
Yeah,
so since you know Busch lattes weren't your thing, so we're gonna try a different one.
We'll move on. But yeah, let's talk about the actual race itself. Heat races also. This was really cool. Jason talks about it just a little bit, but Dennis Gainey basically went up to Jason Reed and was like, hey, I got these heat race stickers. I'll pay $100 to the heat race winners. And that's what he did. Dennis Gainey played $100 to each heat race winner in each class, and they all got a sticker, ironically, with Dustin Selvage's face on it, which makes it so much better as Cade's fighting flies in the garage. But
they're bad today.
the stickers literally just say, I think it say heat race winner, and then it's a picture of Dustin's face, cartoonified, if you will. Really cool for Dennis Gainey. We'll talk about Dustin Selvage here in a second. But Cam Sorrells won the first heat over Clint Garner, Tyler Gronendijk, and then Kade. Oh my gosh, Cade's gonna be swatting flies this whole time.
Oh man,
looks like earlier in the year.
Good
I was
run
to
for
say I
Cam
didn't get to do it
Sorrells.
Saturday.
Yeah,
And there's
there it is.
we had to show it off. So
there you go.
thanks to the Knoxville Raceway social media account for
That's
that.
awesome. That's so good. Cam Sorrells won the first heat race. Cam ran really good with the Sprint Invaders a couple nights ago. I think he's really starting to find his groove there in that 57 car. Heat race number 2, Carson McCarl took the outside pull away from Ryan Levitt, but he was pushed back, so he jumped. Tough times.
Yeah, Ryan did go a little early. Got a little excited.
Ryan just got a little excited. In the 40 car, still in the 40. Tony Ross goes +2. Riley Goodnow goes +2, so that helped him out. Heat race 3 was Terry McCarl versus JJ Hickle. That was a lot of fun to watch. I don't know, Kate, how much you got to see once you got out of your car, but man, Terry, like JJ was there the entire race, and he just couldn't get around Terry. It was kind of just old man still got it. He can still wheel a car if that's ever been in question. He's very good at what he does, and he knew everything to do to hold JJ off.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that one, but I've seen it.
You've probably been a part of it.
Yeah, but I've seen it a lot of times between JJ and Terry at Sprint Invader races. It's like every time I go race a Sprint Invader race, they're in the same heat race and just absolutely duking it out. So I can only imagine what it was like.
Well, Terry knows that, especially in 360 racing, it's a lot of momentum, racing. So he knows how to make that car wide when it needs to be. And we've seen it a couple times this year. And that was just another example of doing what you got to do to win.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Dustin Selvage was going for, I think he's already set history, but I think he was going for historic history.
Knoxville Knights history. We were going to put it in our record books.
We were going to make our own record book. He was going for 10 heat race wins. Started on the front row, and he got too excited, and he jumped. I went and joked with Ethan Gordon afterwards. I'm like, are you serious? I was like, you just took this moment away from this man. Apparently, the Hall of Fame was booing. Good enough that you could hear it in turn 2.
Wade was giving Ethan the business, too. He was egging him on.
Was he? Yeah, so Dustin Selvage jumps the start, puts him back and forth, puts him in the B. But, oh, by the way, he ended up going hard charger. Like, that car's so fast. I think they just qualifying, they never got figured out. I'm excited to see him go. I think he's going to probably go run a couple more races here at the end of the season. Tasker Phillips was the big hard charger, 6th to 2nd. That was probably the invert was big because Tasker was probably going to be on the front row if the invert was 0. I don't think we ever got the points up in the booth. But
I would have been shocked if he wasn't.
Yeah. So it's just kind of funny how the night works out like that. Because, Tony went +2. Ross did, and he ends up on the front row. Kade goes +1. Where'd you qualify, Kade? 5th? Yeah, 5th. Yeah. So, just kind of one of those things. Just kind of worked out. That's kind of how it goes. The big topic of the 360 race, besides Kade winning, was Tony Ross, obviously an unbelievable run, was running his first, or was really the best race he's ever ran. Tony Bachhoven was joking. He's like, I'd never called him racing for the lead before. And Tony called the race with me because he knew Tony Ross was going to be there, and he's a big fan of Tony's. And they're battling. Kade gets away. I think it's on that restart. Tasker gets a really good run on Ross, and Tasker goes to the bottom. The more I watch it, I don't think he hits the berm, but he definitely slips on the bottom. I don't think it was the slider that he wanted to throw, but just feeds Tony Ross to right rear. And Tony goes up the track and catches the cushion. And, oh gosh, Kate. Catches the fluff and then drops back. I think he finished 6th or 7th. But what do we think, guys? Tony was not happy. Not happy on social media. Danny Lazowski apparently texted him and said, you should probably go deal with Tasker. Tasker's a wrestler, though. I think I'm kind of glad Tony didn't do it. But Josh, we'll start with you, and then obviously Kade, just based off what you saw in post race. But what do we think, Josh? Clean, dirty, racing?
I think it wasn't the cleanest move for sure. I don't think that Tasker went into the corner with the intention of right rearing him out of the way, but it just kind of happened. I agree. It looked like he did miss the bottom some. I'd have to go back and look at it again, but it almost looks like he kind of for a split second was making a decision, and then it was just we're going to go to the top, and Tony was there. So I told Tony after the race I was really glad that he was and impressed that he was able to save that because he could have went for a hell of a ride. And in that position, I mean, Kade, you can probably speak to it also. Like you're going to stand in it and try to go around that slider every time, depending on how late he saw him too. But sucks, I like Tony and I like Tasker. I hate when your buddies get together, but it's going to happen sometimes.
Me and this fly are about to get together here in a minute.
I'm just gonna zone it out because I'm gonna keep laughing if I keep going.
They'd turn a fan on in here or something. Yeah, I don't know. It was obviously Tasker's an aggressive racer, and he said that to us the first time we talked to him. He basically said like he's not gonna change the way he drives at all. He's Tasker. That's what he does. Do I think he meant to drive clear through him? Absolutely not. But yeah, Tony has every reason to be pissed. I would be pissed if that happened. And like you said, Josh, you can't lift for that. Like you gotta stay in it and try to keep your spot. But I'm really lucky because it could have been a lot worse. Right rear to left front at that kind of speed is never good. So I'm glad he at least like got him in the drag link. It looked like, and he didn't get upside down.
Yeah,
definitely.
It was a tough break, but I'm very happy for Tony. I think it was a great run. Obviously, he's mad, as he should be, but they got some racing left this year. And I think, like I said, for both of you, just a really good final night. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see. So,
and honestly, roles reversed. It would have been interesting to see Tony get, start on the pole, get the jump, and see how good he would have been, leading the race.
Yeah, I was going to say,
also.
do you think you could have gotten back around him, Kade, if Tony did get around you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, our stuff was really good, but I kind of messed around too long in the bottom of 3 and 4, and that was what, like, when I heard him driving around me and then I saw him, I was like, okay, now I got to go up to the top because I have no choice. But I don't know. Clean air was huge, obviously. It always is. But our stuff was good. I feel like lap traffic would have had to have happened, which I'm sure Tony was saying the same thing about us. But yeah, roles reversed, I think, honestly, unless we did get to stick in traffic and get racing it up, I think it would have been kind of the same story that I had.
I think the third fly has entered the chat. I mean, they are
dude. There's like 5 of them now.
Like, is there a dead animal in the ground?
No. We're gonna get this man a bug's eye for Jesus.
There's nothing
Kade
over
finally
here.
wins a race, and his poor podcast afterwards is just flies.
Oh man.
We promised Kade's garage is not that bad.
No, it's not. I need to turn a fan on here in a minute or so.
And Rylan, we showed a video. We had Blake drinking a Busch latte. He was not the biggest fan, but if you go back a little bit, you can see the whole video evidence of it.
When it's
You
there.
can see the flies bugging me.
You want to go turn your fan on? You can. We can talk about pro sprints here for
I
a
think
second.
Maggie she's in here with a fly swatter now.
Yeah, just hit him in the face, Maggie.
Well, we gotta give Maggie credit.
She's gonna plug the fan in.
She did help you out in victory lane. She was right there naming off the sponsors. So huge
Yep.
shout out to Maggie.
I'm the absolute worst about remembering sponsor names, and especially if I can't see them when I'm looking at my car.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna forget it, and I feel terrible about it. But I just don't have. I don't win enough, honestly.
I'm gonna bring
That's
note
the
cards
worst
next time. I'm just gonna have them in the back.
Hold there.
Got this one.
That's awesome. Your pro sprints. What was it like seeing your old man back in the car?
It was interesting. He was on the hammer when it rained.
Yeah, he was. If he didn't blow up, man, y'all were about to be the first father-son duo to win in the same night. I mean, he was flying. Did he like it? I mean, did you talk to him any, like, what he felt like being back in the car, or was he just kind of like, eh?
I was just reading Tony's comment. Yeah, he said it was fun. He didn't really. He said like driving it by himself wasn't really all that cool. He's used to 360s and 410s, but once he got racing, he said it was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Got some
There's the
interesting.
comment.
This is the fun part about being live. We got some fun commentary. Would have been interesting. Hopefully we see both of you guys dueling it out again next year, and we can see who gets the best of who.
I have been told green numbers have been retired because he ran so well with the white numbers. Green numbers have been officially retired. So that's all we'll talk about for that car. But
Black numbers, what he would have won.
Yeah,
What can we say?
that's true. Might be there. Um, Speaking about your dad again, car seemed, I mean, obviously the engine expired at the end, but man, it was just making weird noises during hot laps. And then the heat race, he had troubles. Jeff Wilkie led the whole way, but then he ran out of gas because that first heat race would not end. You know how on my race pass it has like a little timer of how long the race has gone? That race had gone up to 15 minutes.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
at one point. So it was a very long heat race. And it stinks for Jeff Wilkie. The start was really interesting of the feature. Luke Lane and Tyler Thompson. Luke was just kind of coming down the racetrack. I'm not really sure what was going on. I don't know if he didn't have traction, but they got together and it spun Tyler around, just kind of a 360, and poor Jeff Wilkie was just trying to get out of the way, and the car just tumbled over. Well, Luke, I mean, it's a red flag, so Luke goes to the back straightaway, parks just kind of in front of the Brian Clausen Sweet Tower. The red flag is out, and Tyler Thompson throttled that thing up, drove all the way around under the red flag, and just ran into the side of Luke. Not hard enough, I will say, or not hard enough. Yeah, he didn't hit him hard enough. Not like that.
You gooder.
He just kind of ran into the side of him, nudged him, and that's where he stopped. And I'm sure he had some very choice words for Luke while it was happening. He got parked, not because of maybe because of the incident, but the explanation we were told is that he didn't stop under the red, so that's an automatic park. But yeah, that was very interesting. Anybody have any opinions about the wreck? I mean, it was just kind of weird. They kind of got stuck together, and Luke kind of got away with it, but yeah, just tough break.
Yeah, agree. Tough break. I didn't see it live because I was still messing around with this guy in Victory Lane.
I figured y'all were going to be so
so
hammered when I got down there. I'm like,
oh, no.
Well, they ain't even going to be able to say anything.
Had a job to do. Okay. We're professionals here. Yeah, just unfortunate. It was interesting that Jeff got it going again, and he was ripping around there with half hanging on wing. But I don't know, Kade, you guys know that you can't really be fiddling around under red flags and hitting people and not expect something to happen, I would imagine.
Yeah, the biggest thing is running around under power while the red flag's out. They're very adamant that you do not do that.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I mean, it just kind of happens a lot. At English Creek, it's really bad because kids are like, my dad's on the backstretch. I better roll around so I can talk to him.
Weird. That's probably part of the reason why they do it at Knoxville and other places as well. Yeah. They got to go see their dad, but I digress.
To get to the car. Sure, Josh. You want to open that can of worms? You go right ahead.
No, we've been there, done that. We know that people are trying to get to their crew guys and get signals, but yeah, I mean, you can't do it. It's it's dangerous for guys that are in the cars out there. You don't want to run into somebody and hurt somebody in their car, but it's even worse when you have unprotected safety workers out there. And I bet Tyler probably regrets it at this point, probably getting out of the heat of the moment.
They radioed over and said he might not have had brakes. That was another thing that they brought up. And then just the fact though that he still kind of aimed at he still aimed at Luke. You have brakes, but he used Luke as a stop. So I don't know, but yeah, Josh, when are we going to see you in a 305?
Yeah, drag that comment up there. Let's get that one on the live stream.
Pull that up there. Bring Tony's comment up here.
No, we're not getting me in a 305 anytime soon.
Can Kade and I do it?
Unless Tony's, my Venmo, Tony. You can send me some dollar bills. We get me in that car.
Oh man, yeah, there we go.
There we got it.
Luke Lane had a really good battle with Brody Johnson. That was for the Rookie of the Year. I think Luke might have had it, but I think just going into the feature because he qualified a little bit better, but still just up for it. Brody was so close this year, man. He's gonna win one of these races here soon, but Luke just got away, man, and just dominated. He said in Victory Lane, he's like, if somebody else was driving this car, it had 5 wins this year. So hey, good to see his confidence up. Did a shoey. That's kind of funny. I don't know if he regretted it. Yeah, I don't know if he regretted it when he did it, but Ross Weiss had a really good video in slow motion of the whole thing happening.
He loaded that boot up too. That thing.
Yeah, he did. He did. He just kept chugging. I'm like, well, half of it missed his mouth, but it's like, dang, man.
We've talked about him though this year.
Yes.
I don't know which one or all of us have kind of called that he was going to get one. He was too good. He should have had one probably earlier in the year when he got kindered by one of the best to drive a 305 there. And if he's back in that class next year, honestly, he might be one to look out for to battle with Jay for the championship. And who knows who else? We had a really stout field of pro sprints this year. It doesn't always get all the love, but they still usually put on really good racing.
I tell you what, if there's any way, Josh, if you can go try to find the date, do you want to try to? I'm going to talk about points here. I'm just going to go through the point rundown. Do you want to go try to find at the beginning of the year when we had our sheet? Remember we gave our predictions for who we thought was going to be the champion and whatnot?
Hopefully I don't break the stream here, but I'm
going to run through points. I forgot to do it for 360s. Josh is going to get a little laggy here. Don't worry about it. He'll be back in a second. I wanted to talk about pro sprints first. Obviously, the Jay Kinder is your champion, officially a two-time champion. Congratulations to Jay. Heck of a year. We're going to try to get him on. I think it'd be cool to get all of our champions on. Obviously, we've had Tasker on, but to get Austin on here soon. Luke Lane is officially your rookie of the year. He finishes second. Brody Johnson is third. Tyler Thompson is fourth. Chase Young is fifth. I think Tyler Thompson might have been second in points going into the night. So probably, definitely what happened in the feature didn't help. Chase Young's fifth. Still pretty good considering. Did he officially miss a week or did he get the?
He did.
He missed one.
So he missed a week. Matthew Stelzer sixth. Jeff Wilkie seventh. Devin Wignall is eighth. Devin Klein is ninth. And Cody Hildreth round out the top 10. In 360s, Tasker Phillips is your champion. Clint Garner officially brings it home second. Tyler Gronendijk third. Ryan Giles fourth. Cam Martin fifth. Dustin Selvage sixth. That's pretty good for Dustin. I think he made up a lot of points late in the year, truly. Terry McCarl seventh. Jamie Ball eighth. Obviously didn't start. Kade Higday got her in the top 10. He finishes ninth. And then Tony Ross rounds out the top 10. We'll talk about 410 here in a second. Do we have it, Josh?
I did. Yeah, let's get it at the end. We'll run through the 410s and then we can go through that at the end because we were good on some and we missed big time on some of the others.
Ryan Nevertill. We'll go cut that one.
and that's a shot at Blake, not.
I took a shot at myself. All right, Ryan. I really thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be your year. I know.
Oh man.
All right, 410s. Josh Schneiderman and Kelby Watt battled it out early in the first heat race. Schneiderman was able to hold on to it. I don't remember this heat race. It must have been in the bathroom. I do not remember this heat race.
It was honestly a lot like JJ and Terry in the 360s. Like they went at it slider battles a couple times, and then Josh just kind of pulled away there at the very end.
Sweet. Jack Anderson won heat race 2 from the pole. Biggest mover. Tasker Phillips up +2. Tasker has really just kind of bounced around 410s this year. Like, obviously, he was out of the BDS ride, and then he was in that 7W a little bit. But boy, he finished second last night. One Taz was pretty good, all things considering.
Yeah, Tasker. It's hard to say.
The field was also, the field.
What are you saying, Blake?
No, I'm not saying anything.
No, honestly, I was going to bring it up. The attitude of that car looked different than what I think he has been in a 410 there recently, and like there was some moves that honestly it looked like. Not comparing him to Brian Brown, but there was like the way that Brown's car was kind of. If you go back and look at the video and you just look at the attitude and the way he could hit the apex and just drive it off, nobody was catching Austin, but Tasker was bad fast on Saturday.
Yeah, and Tasker's always really good. Like we all know that. I was just getting ready to say when Blake tried saying that nobody was there. It's just hard to put a finger on exactly what is their like the knife in their back. I don't know. Obviously they had it a lot better for him on Saturday. Maybe it was just kind of a thing like me where
just kind of worked out. Yeah.
You get it right once.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be true, but yeah, overall really good run for him. Cam Martin, really strong in Heat 3. He's going full-time 410 racing next year, and he's going to be a threat, man. I think he can definitely finish top 10 of the points for sure.
He's ready for it.
Yeah, he's ready. He is absolutely ready. Brandon Wimmer was second. We'll talk about Brandon Wimmer in a little bit, and then JJ Hickle finished +3. We move on to the feature. Brandon Wimmer had a really good night. They put the 6K on the car. Caleb obviously was at the Outlaws, so it was Brandon Wimmer back in the car. And the car kind of ran like Caleb's. Obviously, Brandon has struggled with speed this year, but boy, they got something figured out. Another one of those weird things, guys, in turns 3 and 4, he's mid-slider. Now, this one, I think Brandon just slipped. Like, I truly think Brandon you can see the car go real sideways mid-corner. I think it just caught Landon Crawley off guard. And there were really no hard feelings. I think I can safely say that because Landon Crawley and Dennis Gainey were literally tweeting at each other, standing next to each other, like acting like they were fighting on Twitter.
Oh, they were firing people up on Twitter, though.
But it was an interesting spot. I mean, Landon really had nowhere to go. Brandon just kind of slipped. What was your guys' thoughts on it?
What do you think, Kade?
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I was going to say he was out.
That was. I mean, you said it perfectly. I think, Blake. Brandon went in there and he just he didn't hit the bottom. I think he was going to slide himself, but got hung up in the slick a little bit too long, and it got real sideways, and that just completely killed the run he had. And Kade, you can attest to the closing speeds with 410s that you don't have much room or much time or room really to react there. And it could have been, that's another one, could have been way worse for Landon. He kind of hit him in a weird spot. He kind of got him bumper to bumper, but off to the side just a little bit. Because if he would have ramped over Brandon's right rear tire, that would have been basically a head-on shot right in the fence. So it's good that he did not get upside down. I know it tore some stuff up, and we'll see how that team keeps going because it's been cool. He's been improving a lot here at Knoxville. He has had some really good runs at Houston's, and we've got 3 big days at Houston's coming up this weekend. See how they're able to kind of rebound.
Yeah, absolutely. Austin McCarl picks up his first 410 win of the year. I know that probably felt amazing just to end the season off with the win and the championship. He dominated the field. He was the best car in the field last night and showed it. That's a testament to them and that whole crew and him as a mechanic who have been trying to get better every single week. Dude ran really well at the Nationals. I mean, this is no surprise. And he just
felt that one coming.
Yeah. I mean, he just stomped the field this year. So, and 4 championships, man. I mean, it's awesome. And he has been the most consistent. That's the thing. Like, yes, he's here every week, but they do travel and he's been close. He's going to get a touring win here eventually in the next couple of years. Do you guys think he sticks around? I mean, you got 4 now. It's like he could just keep coming back, winning. I mean, he's going to be a Knoxville Raceway Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. But do we think he maybe tries the road a little bit more next year, or do you think he's just come right back?
Wouldn't surprise me if he sticks around. I know he's got another baby coming on the way pretty soon. So that's going to have a couple young kids at home. And I mean, I think he lives in Altoona area. Yeah. So like you got Knoxville right down the road that you kick ass at.
And it pays
going
well.
back pays very well. It's going to be paying even better next year.
Yeah.
So, and to your, going to the first win deal too, like he's racing against Ryan Timms and every week, Brian Brown every week, Rico how many times this year, also on a weekly show. So it's like it definitely makes you better. There's no doubt about it. It's just he's been unlucky who he's been racing against that they've just been better on those nights. But he, you don't win 3 in a row and 4 total, on a fluke. So
it's not like they've all been cakewalks. Not that this year was a cakewalk, but last year, remember, if Reitzel didn't wreck on that final night, things might have been different. And Aaron might have won the title. So I don't know. It was really interesting. But congratulations to Austin McCarl and that whole team. I mean, that awesome job by them. And we'll hope to get him on here soon to have a chat with him. Tasker Phillips finished second. Really good run for Riley Goodnow. I thought Egan and them have really got that car rolling all year. I mean, they have got to be proud of what they're doing. And Riley's going to keep winning more races here at Knoxville. If he decides to go the 360 or the 410 route again next year and split it with the 360, I'd like to see it. I think he does just fine in both, but they should be very happy with what they bring to the track every single week. And it feels like they're getting better.
Yeah. And Riley should be proud of himself too for improving as a driver too. It's not all race car that makes it go around the racetrack. You got to have a guy that drives it too. And he's definitely stepped up this year and made himself a lot better driver. And it's just showing every week.
I think we talked about that a little bit earlier this year where he had given an interview with Connor over at Always Race Day after he won the 360 race and talked about how, to your point, Kade, that he wanted to get away from Knoxville more to better round himself out as a driver. And I think that has definitely shown that it is really helping. Then you team up with someone like John Egan who knows how to win around Knoxville. It's been a great pairing so far. Kade's under attack again.
I think we got the fan on.
I see a couple questions I want to get to.
In case you didn't see it, Kade.
Yeah,
Sister's got your back.
Yeah, I know.
I see a couple questions. Tony Cruz has a couple good questions. I want to catch those here after we're done with 410s. Kelby Watt +10. Good run for Kelby.
Hell of a drive for Kelby. He was all over the place here those last 3 days.
I think his confidence has got to be high. I think they might have run into issues in that 14 car at Houston's last night. I can't remember, but good run for him. JJ Hickle was right there, +11. JJ's going to win next year, man. I mean, dang it. He's going to win
He was coming for you in the 362,
yeah,
Kade.
I know.
Yeah, he was really on the move. He's going to win a race at Knoxville. And obviously, we talked to him earlier this year about how much that would mean to him. And he wants it, man. He wants it so bad. And I don't see him leaving Matt Morrow. I think they are a really good pair.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to find a car owner and driver combo that gels that well. And yeah, JJ's just been kind of like Riley, honestly. He's been working on himself to be a better race car driver, and they're finally getting his race cars comfortable for him. So I'm really glad that I didn't have a yellow with him running second, because I think he would have just drove right around me.
That would have been a very fun conversation.
Yeah.
You want to talk about anxiety? I would have been a nervous wreck watching that shit too. But when he finally does, when he finally wins, I think there's going to be another 6 a.m. Mr. or Mrs. C's, Mrs. D's, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. Oh, we were at Hy-Vee this
breakfast. Time. Well, might go to both. Okay, who the hell knows?
When JJ wins again, or if he wins, he will win. I'm gonna go get a hamburger or a hot dog because I missed out. We got pizza that last time, so yeah, we'll catch up with that. But Justin Henderson hopped in the Vermeer 55 and ran well. Justin Henderson's a phenomenal race car driver. I wish he was here every week. I really do. Finished 7th, good run for him. Matt Jewell was in that car on Sunday night and actually ran pretty well as well. They put the 09 on the car. It was the standard Vermeer car. They're just going to be bouncing, I think, unless they maybe just decide to close it up for the rest of the year or just kind of wait for Kerry to get back if he does. But
with him,
good run.
Well, I guess to your point, he ran the 09 last night, so that was probably getting owner points. I don't know how that would work because Kerry was really mainly running Knoxville, Huset's for points. So
it really was not. I don't think he was really in Huset's points, really.
No, I just ran there a lot.
Yeah, very. He started a little bit in the beginning of the year, but yeah.
We'll see. It wouldn't surprise me to see that thing parked now with him running the 15.
What I mean, he's our friend, but Jack Anderson +5 last night or on Saturday finished 8th. Ran pretty well at Houston's for his first time. You could sure tell it was his first time. Boy, in that heat race, it's like, dude, there's a wall there. Like, you want to calm it down.
He doesn't care.
But maybe inadvertently, maybe caused a caution in the heat or in the feature. But our friend Caleb kind of got the bad end of that, but recovered well. But I think Jack has done great in the 2Ks. Like, I mean, I'll be biased, but I think they should keep him in it for a little bit longer and just see what happens. He seems very excited. He's very committed. Kade, you can speak on it, but I mean, the kid's rocking it right now.
Yeah, that's extremely tough hopping over to a new team and then going and racing tracks that you've never raced at before. I mean, he's basically only raced Knoxville and I think 2 other racetracks before this. So, huge hats off to him for that. He's a little badass racer, and I knew that from like 14 years ago or something like that.
I did ask him today. I was like, so are you a short track guy now? And I was like, I might be. That was pretty damn fun.
That was awesome.
That was cool though, because he's on it, man. Like he's not scared out there.
They were sliders last night.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were having a blast. Gage ended up on his lid, but
no, it's a tough situation, and he's kind of in a tough spot with Ian. Like you never want to see someone get hurt and then be in their ride. But it's probably going as best as it could be. You don't want your car to suck while you're hurt, or from the TKS teams, like you still need the car to perform. So happy for them that they're getting results.
Absolutely. Your 410 point standings, your top 10 finishes. Austin McCall, your champion. Brian Brown is second. Want to give another shout out to Brian Brown. Hopefully he starts healing up. It seems like it's going to be a little bit here. Obviously going to miss the Tusky, which really stinks as a former winner of that. I have the tweet set. I'm going to retweet that highlight here when it gets close, because I still think that's so cool that Brownie won the Tusky a couple years ago.
Cool.
So tough break for Brian Brown. Again, we hope to see him back in the car here eventually, but who knows? Just heal up, man. Heal up. Get yourself healed up. Carson McCarl ends up finishing third. Kerry Madsen finishes fourth. Ryan Timms ends up fifth and wins Rookie of the Year. I mean, quite the Rookie of the Year, honestly. I said it on my preview show on Friday, but the most insane stats, he had 12 410 starts at Knoxville prior to this season. And I think maybe he'd only finished in the top 10 once or twice. And then he comes in this year and just does all. I mean, just unbelievable. I think maybe unofficially leads the country in sprint car wins, 360 and 410 combined. That depends on how many, like if Caleb Henry has a couple 360 wins, but that's 15 wins total this year. David Gravel has 13, all in a 410. Insane. Ryan Timms, we don't have it in our recap, but he went to Montana and beat them twice, and then he went to USITS and he beat them, and now he's in the battle for the championship. So we can't speak on it enough, but unbelievable job by Ryan Timms. JJ Hickle finishes 6th, Riley Goodnow 7th, Chris Martin 8th, Caleb Johnson 9th, and Scott Boguski is 10th. Good to see Scott Boguski back at the track last night, boys.
It was.
In that Three Stooges car. I hope he's back next year. I don't know what that plan is with that car, what he's going to be, but I'd love to see Scott back here at the track.
I'd love to see this fly get out of here.
Really cool.
Scott's a shoe, and hopefully
absolutely.
he can find a longer term deal, because I know it sucks jumping from ride to ride and stuff like that. So hopefully they should have had a win already, but got struck by a flat tire. So
Absolutely.
hopefully they can keep that together and keep rolling.
I wanted to catch Tony Cruz's questions. I saw the T and I saw Cruz. I thought Tom Cruise was in the chat here for a second, but yeah.
Jeez.
You never know,
Blake's
man. You never know.
Blake's still feeling the Bush latte. From
Yeah, apparently. Everybody's asking about it, so we got to replay the video again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and
All
play
right,
that
yeah,
again.
we got to play the beer.
We did get Blake a Bush latte. He wore it
Beer
down
again,
the front a little bit, but
Red shirt.
red shirt didn't ruin it though.
Nope. Went out pretty quick.
I wish I could make it slow mo.
Toasty on the back screen there. It's kind of funny. That wasn't me just like absolutely hating it. It was coming out. I'm like, I'm gonna spill this all over me.
And
Tony Cruz asked 2 questions. First one, he asked about the E-Main money. I'm not really sure what happened with the E-Main money. I don't know if they put it on the back half. I don't want to speak for anything that didn't happen or what happened, but I don't even know if the trophy was given out.
Should have been a question we asked Jason.
Yeah. We should have asked Jason. But Hunter Schoenberg did ask if he would get the trophy. Oh my gosh, Kade he's hitting himself in the face so much. And then Tony says he's been to every national since '82. Shout out you, Tony. That's awesome. Cool to see all the changes. Will High Limit ever get a race night at Knoxville or with the contract with Dirt Vision? I really think it's not necessarily a contract with Dirt Vision. I think it's just kind of we're under the World Racing Group banner at Knoxville. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing a high limit race at Knoxville for a bit. You never know. Something could change. I don't speak for Knoxville, but in a way I kind of do, but I don't. I know there are people here that would love to see it, but I think just the way contracts are and everything else, I just don't think you're going to see it. But really, I mean, what? They bring in I love high limit. I don't want this to go against, but you bring in a spin wheel, but really we get to see high limit versus Outlaws for nationals, and usually those weekends that the Outlaws are here, high limits here too. So yes,
I'd say from a marketing perspective and just the big feel, you know, you could add another weekend or two. I think that's where I land on it. Is I think, you know, having 2 national series, I think it would be great for the sprint car capital of the world to host both of them. I know that there is the stuff behind the scenes. I'm sure, I don't know. I don't work for Knoxville, or we're not affiliated with Knoxville Raceway at all. So it would be great from a fan's perspective. We are lucky that from a scheduling perspective, though, you are correct, Blake, that we've been able to basically have World of Outlaws v High Limit every time there's been an Outlaws race here. So and I'm sure you fall in the same boat, Kade.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky the way that their schedules fall, and it's basically
they do that. Yeah, they do it on purpose. Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about it. Yeah. But if it ever did happen, I guarantee it would happen the week before nationals, because that's always when the All Stars were here. So yeah, I know, Joey. I gotta get
work on it, Joey.
Yeah. We gotta get it figured out.
I know a place you can practice.
Yeah. You want to do our quick recap for what happened and then go over what our picks were?
Yeah. Do you want to touch on the? No, actually, let's round out Knoxville.
Okay,
we had some interesting championship picks.
Yeah.
We nailed one. I think
yeah.
a couple of us nailed one, but otherwise it wasn't great for us.
Josh,
Not me.
Josh, 410 champion. Josh picked Kerry Madsen. Dark horse was Carson McCarl. So I mean,
Not bad.
yeah, I mean,
Third place.
Kerry was in the fight till obviously the thing kind of happened. So I mean, I think that's not a bad pick. And then Carson obviously finished third. 360 at Jamie Ball. Dark horses were Tyler Gronendijk and Ryan Giles. Obviously, Tyler Gronendijk picked up his first win. Ryan Giles was really close. Obviously, I think a lot of us really thought Jamie was just going to stay that consistent. And it just obviously didn't work out for him. Just bad luck. And then on the pro sprints, Jake Kender and Mike Mayberry, two very polar opposite years. I mean, Mike just had a year to forget. And then Jake Kender obviously walks away with the championship. You had Rob Kubley as your dark horse, kind of the netcode brand there. So
it's good seeing him Saturday.
Yeah, those were Josh's picks. I had 410. I had Carson McCarl or Austin McCarl. I was like back and forth. We didn't know what was going to happen. There were rumors Austin wasn't going to race full time. So I think that's kind of why I put the Orr in there.
Yeah, we didn't have a full roster really or any entrance at that point.
JJ Hickle was my dark horse. He's not a dark horse anymore. I think he's really one of the favorites for sure. 360, Clint Garner and Jamie Ball. You know, at the beginning of the season, boys, like Clint still had a great year. He finished second in points. I thought Clint was going to win the championship. He won that race early and he was cruising and then just kind of hit a couple bumps in the road, got into a couple incidents, obviously the 360 shootout thing. And then I had Terry McCarl as the dark horse. Terry showed flashes this year, just never had that full race winning speed. But ended up finishing seventh. None of us picked Kade, by the way, because I think I remember us specifically saying we weren't going to pick Kade in anything.
Yeah.
And then I had
you guys. Then you guys tried to make me pick myself, and I was like,
we did.
No.
Then I had Jake Kender and Mike Mayberry, and then I picked dark horse Ryan Navratil. For those that don't know, Ryan Navratil won the last two races of 2024, and I just assumed he was going to be in that car again, was going to be really strong. And then he wasn't. Cody Hildreth was in that car, and Ryan just barely raced. So that was a miss on my part. Kade had Carson McCarl winning the 410 championship. He had Jamie Ball winning the 360 championship, and he had Mike Mayberry winning the Pro Sprint championship. So Kade went 0 for 3. But still.
Sidebar. 2 different 12 cars with Hildreth and.
The sponsor must have been the same. That's what I'm thinking. It looked the same. It looked the exact same.
Was it?
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But I don't know. Those were our picks. There is a lot. We didn't even, nothing against Ryan Timms. We didn't even think about Ryan Timms. I don't know if he ever came in the conversation about Ryan Timms.
I don't know if we knew he was going to race full.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
We knew nothing when we made this list.
Pretty much.
We really don't, because it's not like the teams come out and say, "Hey, we're going to run full time this year."
Yeah.
Like it just kind of happens. But
based on our earlier convo with him, he wouldn't have picked himself either. So we were in good company.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to our outlaw. Just kind of what happened outside recap. There's still a little bit more to talk about, and then we'll go into our interview with Jason Reed. The World of Outlaws were at Mississippi Thunder on Tuesday. A lot of rain over the weekend. Really cool surface. It's a big late model track. It wasn't quite the race that I think they wanted just because of all the rain. The track is supposed to be really wide, like IRA races that happened this year. Lauren Kelly was showing them on Twitter. Like, they are insane around that place. David Gravel eventually got ahead and just kind of didn't look back. Bill Baylog was really strong early, but Gravel was just really, really good. High Limit went to Gold Cup on Thursday night. Corey Day, just stomped the field. Brad Sweet was there early, but wasn't stopping Payday. Yep, there you go, Josh. Josh had to get Corey's nickname in there. So
just for you. Sweet did look good early on, but again,
he did. He has
like we have here
better since the team change, in my opinion.
I'd agree with that.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean,
then, Corey Day's inevitable. So
yeah. If you want a really good video, Justin Fiedler put out a video today about like possibly all the silly season stuff. There's a lot of uncertainties around that Casey Kane team. Like, will Casey bring back the 9 car for somebody else to drive next year? It'll be really interesting. Kade Higday is going to hop in the KKR 9 car. World of Outlaws were at River Cities on Friday. These 2 races were big for Donnie. Donnie Schott's big circling of that car obviously was in the Leinster car. Sheldon Haudenschild was leading, and he ran up on a lap car. Might have been Skylar G. I can't remember. and he went right over top of the right rear, and he went straight into the infield, and no caution was called. Sheldon then got out, was very mad, and apparently grabbed on a official's face mask, and he was not happy for good reason. I'm going to come out and say it. He got screwed. He got absolutely screwed. And Buddy Kofoid was able to hold off David Gravel for the win. What'd you think, guys? It's just an error. I mean, I hate to say it. That's what it was. It was just an error. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird spot because you're like, he's in the infield, but yeah, he wrecked.
Yeah, and I don't know if like I don't know if they didn't see him for a while or what, but
there's an official right there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
hey,
did he not say over the radio, like, hey, there's a car sitting 5 feet from me? Or I don't know what the deal was, but the only thing that makes sense is if like they never got communication that he was spun out there until like a lap was already completed or something, because then it wouldn't matter anyway.
Where'd the leader go?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
It seems very odd that you wouldn't have eyes on every part of the racetrack when something like that happens. And part of me was like, well, he did just go in the infield and nothing happened. So like, why does a yellow need to be thrown? But then usually if somebody goes off the other side, it's a yellow. So I would agree still. It was very bad. And they had something ready for the next night. When they came back, they had a little moped, red flag, just in case
flag on it.
Yep. So that way they could be spotted. Yeah.
Yeah. It stinks.
It's a bad look too. Like from a series perspective, it looks really bad. And hopefully that's something that they don't have happen again.
I mean, every series has these. They have these moments.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
look at NASCAR. NASCAR can't even figure out when to throw yellow flags when they have their big wrecks at plate tracks. So nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has it, and hopefully things get cleared up on the officiating side, and you move on. Gold Cup on Friday night, really good race. I mean, this was one of the better races of the year. James McFadden and Jesse Schlotfelt were really good, trying to battle through lap cars. They had an incident on the restart, and it got Spencer Bayston up in the air, and those two got together. J-Mac did a 360, but kept going, and they allowed him to keep the lead. There we go again. It's kind of fitting, the officiating thing. What do we think? I mean, like, I guess if you keep rolling, who is fault of the caution? This was on Friday. I haven't gone back and watched it. I watched it live, obviously, but this was a really weird moment.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I'm sure the rule says that it's a blend rule, and I don't think he ever lost a spot when he did it, did he?
Yeah.
I thought he did. Yeah, he ended up like sixth or seventh. That's where I was going to go with it.
The cause of the caution?
That's what I heard, that he wasn't the
caution reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we saw this a couple weeks ago with High Limit, like the whole 360. We saw it with Outlaws. I don't think there's really a concrete rule for blending and 360 spins.
He made contact. So like to me, that shows that you were part of the incident. So you're part of the cause of the yellow. So yes, you did spin around. That's where I would think that the blend rule would make the most sense. So you end up whatever it was. I don't recall if 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever. But to go back to the lead like that, I don't think that was right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I will say, I think Spencer Bayston probably was going to win the race if he didn't get tagged. Like Spencer was right there. He was going to open the gates for him, and he got tagged and just kind of bounced the car and it broke it. Didn't break it, but he ended up finishing like 9th or 7th or something like that. But he's been strong, man. We talked about it last week. I hope Spencer can find a ride. Obviously, it's been announced that Donnie Schatz is going to jump in that W car for the Works Unlimited team. But with Paul Silva on the wrenches, that's going to be really fun. But yeah, I hope Spencer finds something here soon, and he's run really well. That allowed Justin Sanders, Giovanni Scelzi to get right to James McFadden, and Justin Sanders was able to get around him. Gio took stabs, just couldn't quite get to him, and Justin Sanders won his second race in the RSR 87. Gio and Tanner Thorson rounded out the podium. It's good, man. It was fun to watch. That was about as good as that gets at Silver Dollar.
Yeah, for sure. And that damn 87 just keeps on ticking.
Rocket, man.
Doesn't matter who's driving it, I guess.
If only we could have had that track on Saturday. That would have been so good.
Talk about that in a second. Let's get to the other one on Saturday night. Red River Valley. They had probably one of the best races of the year. I had to go back and watch it. I wasn't able to watch it. Sheldon Hodenshield and Carson Macedo were battling really hard in those final laps. They made contact going into turn one on the final lap. Wasn't anything intentional. They're both just trying to swap lines. I thought for sure Macedo had the race lost. And then just a power move absolute power move going into turn 3 and was able to get the cushion and take off, and Macedo stole the win. It's a tough one for Sheldon to swallow. I mean, he was driving angry after the night before, but man, Macedo, they have really got stuff figured out. He really gave a lot of credit to Philip Dietz that they have just really gotten rolling. It was a heck of a move. That's really what you want. And man, North Dakota, they put on good races up there.
You definitely hit the nail on the head with Sheldon driving pissed off and the 41 team getting way better. I don't really feel like there's anything else to say on top of that, really.
No, I mean, the way that Carson gathered it up, because he threw a slider at Sheldon out of 4 coming to the white flag. And I thought he was going to go for a ride or at least spin out or something going into 1. But no, he found the grip and took off and got her done.
Yeah, absolutely. Still really cool. One of the big storylines was Donnie Schott's nieces, Amelia and Layla Eisenshank, able to make the feature. That was awesome. Donnie had a really good post about that with pictures of him side by side with them. That had to be one of the coolest feelings for Donnie.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's tough for him trying to drive and dealing with the stress of trying to keep them going. I mean, I'm sure he gained about 40 gray hairs.
Oh, probably. Watching him watch them races, it was a treat, or a trip and a treat up at Jackson last year or 2 years ago. But yeah, really cool. They're great. They're shoes too. So like they kind of can pick their adventure if they want, but it sounds like they like the sprint cars over the late models, which, come to Knoxville next year. That'd be pretty cool.
Come on. It'd be awesome. It's amazing. I see all their merch at Knoxville. Like people wear Amelia and Layla stuff everywhere. So it's really cool. Probably unfortunately, the biggest disappointment of the week was Gold Cup Saturday night race. Took rubber. Justin Sanders led the quarter of the race, but did not get down to the bottom. We had it was kind of really, it wasn't surreal is quite the word for it, but it was kind of really interesting. Aaron Reitzel came up and congratulated Kade. They came in on the quad and they just sat there and watched the race on the iPad. So we all watched it with them, and really interesting to hear Aaron, first of all, Kade, did he tell you why he was back home? Is it because of the foot trying to get x-rays done, or was there a reason? Did he ever tell you?
I don't know. I think he's got another appointment this week, but I don't think it was like today or anything.
Also, probably not great to just fly back and forth. I mean, probably would have been tough. But yeah, was here in Knoxville and was watching it and was trying to as we are fans, he's like, oh, you got to get down. The rubber's there. And he just didn't, he didn't get down in time. And Corey Day got there first. And then it was just putt around the bottom. Everybody kept blowing tires, which somebody tweeted out. I can't remember who it was, but shout out to the guys for not bringing out yellows. Like guys would blow tires. There's let's just move on. It could have been way worse if they blew tires.
Mike even commented on that. Well, he replied to whoever said that, and he mentioned that was a big help because otherwise it would have just been one after the other. We've seen that at Husitz, I think during COVID, when it felt like the whole field blew at least one tire, and nobody wins in that situation unless you're a tire company.
Yeah, and it was
oddly
awesome. Enough. I mean, what's up with that? Corey Day's right rear was insane when he crossed the start-finish line. And Justin just couldn't do anything. I mean, you just couldn't. You're just stuck and you're just running around. It was very disappointing. But that happens, man. I mean, it's the weather did not help him. I think it rained or it was like thunderstorms, and it was just the weather.
It was hotter than hell out there too.
108, 110 as a high. Like they were dealt a bad hand. And it's unfortunate that it happened that way. But Corey Day, 3 Gold Cups in a row. He joined Steve Kinzer as the only 2 drivers ever to three-peat at the Gold Cup. He owns that place, man. He owns it, and he seems to love it. And it's crazy. We're just witnessing history right in front of us.
It's just payday whenever he goes out there, Blake.
Yeah. What was that thing Chase said coming to the checkered the other night?
Personal ATM or something like that.
Well, personal ATM, and then he's like, bank's open on Friday, something like that.
Oh, okay. Friday's payday.
Like and then the kid's like, whatever.
I laughed at that one. It was pretty
funny. Yeah, that was good. But
next time he wins here, if you're calling the race, Blake, I want to hear you use it.
No, I can't do it. I ain't doing it. I ain't calling payday.
Come on.
That's a high limit thing. I mean, just leave it at that. You're not going to hear Johnny Gibson calling Corey Day payday by any means.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair. What are you going to do about it? So, all right. Well, Josh and I had a chance to sit down with Jason Reed last night on Sunday night. Kade was still partying, but Jason had a really good chat with us, about 35 minutes. So because we're live, you're going to see it right now. We're going to toss it over. This was our sit down with Jason Reed at the Knoxville Raceway. Jason Reed, general manager of the Knoxville Raceway, joins us here on Knoxville Nights. We have concluded our 2025 season on the sprint car side. Jason, we wanted to get you on, I think, early in our show's portion, and we obviously waited until the whole season went along here. But first of all, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you on. There's a lot we wanted to talk about tonight, but I wanted to start with just your background. Where'd you grow up? How'd you get into this whole deal? You worked at 3M before this, did you?
Yep.
So I guess give us a little bit of background here for those that don't know about you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad we got to work out tonight to do this. So, so I've grown up in Marion County my whole life. I grew up in the small town of Melcher, Dallas, about 15 miles southwest of Knoxville. But I've been a part of this place my whole life. My grandpa, he was on the fair board way back when. My mom grew up here working the concession stand doing that. I actually did that stuff when I was growing up too, during the nationals and stuff like that. And then after, I showed livestock here at the fair my whole life. Then my kids have continued to do that. Now we still do that today. And then after I was graduated high school and started working, I volunteered out here, just helping with the fair. And then I started even helping the fair board, just like taking tickets and stuff at the nationals, just volunteering that way. And then eventually, after a few years, I got on the fair board, was on the fair board for 15 years. And then, like I said, I worked at Hormel and 3M. 3M was my last employer before coming here. Worked there for 18 years as a supervisor out there. And then on the fair board for 15 years here. And then when we decided to hire a general manager there, they kind of made a decision, asked me if I was interested in it. Everybody kind of said we wanted somebody local that knows the business of what our intentions are and know how the system kind of works. So been doing this for the last 3 years and absolutely love it.
So it sounds like we, like most of us, you kind of got that bug early and you just can't shake it.
Yeah, that is very true.
And not that we would want to shake it, but yeah. So I think you got the call at the end of 2022, right? So 2023 season was your first year. So we're just wrapping up year 3. How would you rate year 3 as GM of Knoxville Raceway?
I would rate it really good. I still struggle on our weekly shows of getting people here. I think that's still a struggle. The racing part of it, though, the car count and the racing has been phenomenal. Just the problem that I don't like is not seeing as many fans here on a weekly show. I mean, I know there's a lot of other options to do on a weekend now for entertainment thing, and then plus the streaming services do such a good job. It's easy to watch at home too. So I don't think we've lost any people that's actually watching it. I just think we've losing the people that are coming to the track, and so. I'm still continuing to work on that. What we can do to get more people here, new people here. I'm trying to get introduce as many new people to it as we can. Some will like it, some won't, and then we'll go from there. But no, as far as the season, like I said, the car count, the racing has been phenomenal, and then the nationals, both 360, the Cappy, the 410. I'd say it was a home run. It was. I don't know how much better it could have went. We were up on attendance every night, except of course for Saturday. We've been sold out for several years on that now. So, we really can't put any more on that, although we did let a few more in the pits this year than we have the past couple of years, and we sold all those out too. So that's still good. But overall, those 8 nights of racing was awesome. The last Saturday, of course, the finale, everybody was worried about weather, me included. John and I worked with Marion County Emergency Management and the National Weather Service starting Friday morning, probably, and we were in contact with them all day Friday night, and Saturday, trying to make the plans for the worst. And luckily, it worked out perfect. We did have to make the decision, to leave the haulers in the infield in case the storm did hit, that the teams and would have places for them to go and their equipment. So we hated that. But on the other hand, if we would have got a big rain and then we couldn't get the trucks in, then we couldn't get the show in, nobody would have wanted that either. So because when we was going through that, it was like a 0% chance of getting it on Sunday. You know, if we got rained out, they were talking rain all day Sunday, and we missed all that too. So in the end, it all worked out right. But, I mean, when you got that many people here and that show to try to put on, you got to make the best plane you can. And I think we did that. John, he loves looking at the weather and trying to figure it all out. I'm glad I got him to do that because I wanted him to tell me when's it going to rain and what do we got to do. And, you know, and so, no, I thought it all turned out really great.
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't listen to Blake because we've already been giving him crap on the show here that Blake was not very confident on Friday night. I don't think a lot of us were, to be fair, but
no, it was not looking good. But I will have to say I got this weather app that John gave me on my phone earlier this year, and it has not it's missed once in the 3 years, and that was on the USAC race a couple years ago when it told me we was going to get 2/10 and we got 3 3/4 inches. But it said we was going to get a little sprinkle at 10 o'clock on Saturday and then another little sprinkle at 2 o'clock. And I mean, that's exactly what happened. That 2 o'clock wasn't even hardly a sprinkle, you know, it didn't hardly get the pavement wet. So I will say, I guess I'll have to give credit that weather app has been right, but you got to prepare for the worst when you got 27,000 people here. So
that's awesome.
There's no doubt.
We'll swing back around to a couple Nationals things. I want to talk about the picture behind you. Obviously, your family it's a big support system. Your girls are really active. They're starting to all move up to college now.
Yeah.
Very active in sports, and you put them to work at Knoxville. I mean, man, I don't know whether they like it or not, but man, they're always working. Talk about that whole system, your wife, and everything that runs along. Yeah,
I gotta give them a lot of credit. They're very supportive. As you guys know, I spend a lot of time here, and they spend a lot of time here with me. My two older girls actually both graduated from college this year. So as they were looking for full-time jobs, I said, well, I'll keep you busy this summer. And they've been a great help out here working all summer. And my youngest, still in high school, she was playing softball at the beginning of the year, and when she got done, she was even over here working when we needed help. So, but yeah, they are, you know, we have some work from schedule before we do, but they're also the ones that when I get in a jam, like, oh crap, we need some help right now, I call them. Matter of fact, Saturday night, as you guys know, we opened up the new bar trailer in the pits on Saturday, and we didn't know how it would go. So Jim and Laura, they were going to man it for me, and like Jim opened it up, he immediately called me, goes, "Hey, this isn't going to work. We're going to need some more help." And so my youngest daughter, I know she was in the pits already, and I called her and I said, "Where are you at?" She goes, "I'm at Sawyer Phillips trailer." I said, "Well, you need to go to that beer trailer right now because we need to work." So I got my whole family down there, and we were there till 2 a.m. Doing well. My youngest daughter, or my middle daughter, we had to let her go a little early. She did get her full-time job, and she's a nurse at Mercy Hospital now. She had to be at Des Moines at 7 o'clock this morning. So 11:30, I told her, I said, "You better go back to the camper and go to bed." So, but no, they are very supportive. My middle daughter, she'll bring up a lot of times in my first year as general manager when we had some issues with the cleaning crew we had, and we ended up firing them on Thursday afternoon at the Nationals. And then my wife and my middle daughter and me were out cleaning the infield at 2 o'clock in the morning on Thursday night. She wasn't real impressed with that, but we got it all done, and it all worked out just fine. But no, they're all great help, very supportive, and they absolutely love it. They've met a lot of great people, and they like the social part of it too. So it works out really good.
Takes a village, and I mean it is all about the people, and I mean you see everybody, especially down around the Nationals. Like there's just people all over the place that are helping make that event what it is. Do you happen to have, I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here. Can you think of a single moment this year that really stuck out to you? I know it's not completely over because we do have the late model Nationals here still in a few weeks, but is there any single thing that really stuck with you, racing or non-racing related?
No, probably just the successful Nationals. I mean, that hours that we spend planning, you know, anybody that's been around here knows, like everything from the campers to the t-shirt trailers to the vendors. It's like a big jigsaw puzzle, and we're out there during May and June with a wheel measuring, you know, how many feet do we have here and can we make all this fit, you know, and it's a big puzzle. But that's part of the not only my family that works here too, but the excellent crew that I have working here across the board. But like Jim Udemark and Laura Shepard, who come in on their teachers, and they come in during the summer and help, and just they are the main, kind of help putting that all together. And David here in the office, of course, he's got all these campers. They all call and they want a camping spot, and then they're like, "Okay, yeah, same camp spot as last year, yeah, okay, that'll be good." And then they call back, hey, we tell you that we bought a 40-footer now, right? Well, a 40-footer don't fit there, you know. So then he has to, you know, try to put all that puzzle together too. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other people they'll say that about their crew, but I would venture to guess that I say the crew we have here is the best in the business. It just all around everywhere, everybody knows their job. We've had a lot of people, you know, the security people and sometimes accession workers. There's a little bit of a turnover there where we don't have the same people, but a lot of these people that have been in these positions have been, you know, in them positions for a long time. They know what to do. They know what they need to do, and we just execute it and make it happen. So that's kind of what I'm just kind of the most proud of, just how we can, you know, this place on like going into this week now, there's back to being 4 full-time employees here, you know, and so it's a lot of part-time employees that all make it happen, that you know, do great things.
Yeah, I mean, it not just to butter you up here, but it is something to be proud of too, especially this season, you know, when we had the crazy weather. Like, fortunately for us, except for Saturday, I think it never rained really past noon on the race day. Like, we got it all overnight. But yeah, I mean, in some aspects, you wouldn't have even really noticed how crazy things were going on in the background with the way the show ended up proceeding on Saturday. So
yeah, that's true.
Good to see.
Yeah, some of the regular races, you know, that we had earlier in the season, we had some weather issues. You know, there's probably some weekends we shouldn't have raced, but we wanted to race. We wanted to give our guys races, so we did it. But like, that's what I get to the push truck crew, Chris Duncan's crew. Those guys, you know, everybody, you know, everyone else shows up the race at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. But they're out there at 7 o'clock in the morning if it's rain, you know, trying to get the infield ready, scraping mud off, whatever we got to do. So yeah, just all the way around. Everybody knows their job. They get it done, and everybody's proud to make it happen.
Was there anything that we started new this year at Knoxville? Obviously, a lot of things were new this year, new facilities, everything else. Was there anything new that you guys tried this year that you thought worked really well or better than you thought?
Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy around it, but I told John, you know, we're trying to get ththese races done at a good time every night. I hate seeing parents leaving with unhappy kids and sleeping kids, and so we try to keep the show moving. And I just, as we went through it and we was looking at it, you know, there's just a lot of variables on how much time we had between the pro sprint, the 360 feature, and 360 and the 410. So I'm like, why don't we just put a timer up? Let's give everybody 4 minutes, you know, and then everybody in the infield can see it. They know they better be in staging there. So I mean, it has caused a few times where guys that are doing double duty, especially when you got the guys like Aaron Reitzel that show up and they decide to win the 360 feature, and then they got to get in the 410 feature, you know. So there has been a little there, but I think overall it gives everybody, you know, everybody knows that, because a lot of times I don't know if I got 4 minutes or I got 10 minutes, you know. We don't want to lose heat in our motors. We got the heater still hooked up. So I just, okay, let's put a big clock up there. Everybody knows. And as soon as that thing hits zero, Wally's leaving, and you better be in staging. So I think that was, we've had to tweak it a little bit. We first started off right when the car went by the checkered flag, we started running it. And then by the end of the year, we changed it to, okay, when the third place guy goes across the scale, then that's when we're starting it, you know. So just to try to give everybody a time, but also keep the fans not have to sit there and wait a long time. So I think that was a good improvement that's worked well.
I also think, and we had talked about this a little bit earlier in the year also, is the invert draw, like showing that on the big screen, and, you know, for people there at the track, but also at home, just that little bit of extra transparency is nice to kind of know what's going on, especially as we see more and more people, you know, starting to tune into these sprint car races. Formats can get a little confusing sometimes. Oh, yeah. So it's nice having that extra explanation, like Blake, you and Tony can do up in the booth, also kind of walking everybody through it. I think that was really cool to see that addition as well.
Yeah, I think that worked out good too, because we did hear some, you know, well, you just, if it's Brian Brown, you're going to pull a zero, you know, and whatever, and we've always draw the last heat race, you know, winner gets to draw it, and that's how we've done it for a long time. So yeah, we've had Brandon Dunkerson come on with Think and Eat, doing help us with a lot of our billboards and stuff like that. And, you know, we kind of tossed around the idea. It's like, hey, let's make this helmet, you know, and we did it. So I thought it worked out really good. It's yeah, everybody can see it. You can see, so everybody knows exactly that it's fair for everybody, and watch the draw happen. So yeah, I think that worked out really good.
Maybe we'll talk about that zero, Blake. Maybe flipping that to a 10 or something.
You, make it
maybe a different conversation.
You talked about obviously attendance on the weekly basis. Is there anything else that you want to see here get better next year? Obviously, we still have one more week left for the late models, but was there anything else that you're like, I think we can be better next year? Obviously, there's a lot of planning that'll go into this offseason. You guys will have many meetings, but was there anything that kind of stuck out that you're like, all right, next year, let's make this a focus?
I don't think so. I think we're just continue to I think if we can never like the Outlaw show in June, we had good weather for the weekend. So the campground, I would say, was probably 75% full here at the track. So I love to see that. So just continue to build those events, to make it the people want to come for the weekend and spend the time. And we're seeing that more and more kind of too, even on some weekly shows, we have people coming over and said, I'll pull my camper over on Friday evening and stay Friday and Saturday, go home Sunday. So I'm just trying to, what can we do even on a regular weekend just to make it more of a family, something where there's for the kids and the family to do maybe Friday night or Saturday during the day, just to keep them entertained until we get to the races, just to give it more of a, instead of people instead of go camp at the lake, let's go camp at Knoxville Raceway because they got this going on and the kids can do this weekend. So we're just kind of looking at some more stuff like that to try to do to, just try to maybe attract some new fans.
Do you think that bridge being closed hurt attendance just a slight bit this year?
No, I don't think it hurt a slight bit. I think it hurt a whole bunch.
Oh,
yes. I have no way to prove that, really, because up until this year, we'd never really done online ticket sales for our regular shows. So I can't really prove who was coming and who didn't come this year. But I think, I know I talked to Lynn Donahue every week and with Jersey Freeze, and he said he can see it the other way. The people from Knoxville that used to drive up to him, he's not seeing it. So yeah, so I think it's hurt a whole bunch, and that is one of my fears of it hurt this year. But I don't want those people to get too comfortable. Like, man, I just got used to watching it sitting in my living room in my garage, and now I'm not going to drive down there on Saturday. So we're even going to try to do some things next year with the Jasper County or Newton Night or something to try to get those people that were affected by the bridge this year to make sure that we want them to come back. So yeah, no, but I think it hurt a bunch.
Awesome.
And like you said, getting people there, I think it was really cool. I think it was the June Outlaw Race weekend, right, where the KCP team did some fan engagement stuff. Yes. They had a ton of people there on the backstretch, which was really, really cool to see. I think teams getting involved and then sponsors doing things like that. That is how you get new, fresh people to the racetrack. And as we all know, when you get them there, you can see it, hear it, smell it, and that's how you get people hooked.
Yeah, no, they did a great job with that. When they came and talked to me about it, I was thinking, do I want to open up the grandstands for 300 or 400 people on the backstretch, But they said, no, we want to make it bigger than that. And they ended up getting just a little over 1,700, I think, that they had,
That's crazy.
With all their sponsors. They're all employees of their sponsors or friends, however they did it. But they organized it all. It turned out really great. And I've had a couple other teams reach out to me, a couple of businesses reach out and say, hey, what can we do with that? Now, unfortunately, we only have so many Saturdays that the World of Outlaws are here, right? But there might even be a thing though where we still might be able to do two different groups back there or something. There's still, but no, the KCP team did a great job with that. They got them all T-shirts and had a band and bouncy houses, stuff for the kids to do all the time. So yeah, I think that was a great thing to do. And then we've done a couple other promotional things with the Iowa Lottery and with some winners that won. And we were able to track that a little bit. So we had 50 winners that came down, and then we got them an infield tour, got them down to meet the teams and stuff. And I think that's what we need to do more of, because they'd never been here, but all of a sudden they went down there and they talked to Brian Brown, or they talked to Sawyer Phillips, or Rico did it with some of them one night. And it was like they're already engaged because they felt like they knew that person. They were able to watch them racing and stuff. And I told those guys, I was, hey, I'm great you're all coming, but if you come back, I want you to track me down and let me know. I was an Iowa Lottery winner and I came back here, and I had a lot of people that did that. So I think cool. This year I was looking to buying one of those aluminum people haulers to take people in the infield, to do that with. Then I found out the price of them. I was like, ooh, we got to wait on that a little bit. But I was able to work with Mark Core and Vermeer and able to lease one for them after tulip time. That's what they mainly use for tulip time, or Pella. So we've had that one this year. We didn't get to use as much as I wanted to, but we used this last Saturday night, and it worked out great. It's just being able to take people down there so they can actually see it, and I mean, you guys know it. To walk in those trailers is just unbelievable. The stuff they have in there, and the people are just in complete awe. I had no idea that those guys travel up and down the road with that much stuff, and what they can do right there. So I think that's another thing we need to continue to do to build new fans to come and want to see the races.
Absolutely.
And what's the best way if teams or sponsors would want to contact you to maybe set something up, kind of like that KCP deal? What's the best way to get a hold of you for that?
Yeah, just either call the ticket office here and get a hold of me, or send it to my email, jasonr@knoxvilleraceway.com. And I'm willing to work with a deal with any team. Doesn't have to be a big team. Just if we got some local teams that want to try something, we'll do something with them too. It's many. I would be willing to work with any team that wants to get new people here to the track.
Awesome. Saturday, obviously, for Nationals, we sold out once again. Friday was really close. I don't know if you can tell us how close it was, but do you see a world here in the next 10, 15 years where every night of the 410 Nationals sells out?
I do, but I also, as I continue to work on it every year, we lease this parking ground over at the VA, but there's a housing development going there, so I'm just trying to me, most people that I talk to that are, 2 or 3 days, come either Friday to Saturday or just Saturday, I'm like, why don't you just come all 4 days? And that's what it is. It's just it's a battle. Everybody knows it's a battle to get a parking spot. Yeah. So I think we just got to try to find a way to accommodate more people to park. And then a lot of people, which is awesome, I think, they'll call and want a camping spot, and we tell them we're sold out, but we can get them in surrounding towns. Which I would love to help out surrounding towns so they can make some revenue and get people in their town too. But a lot of people say, no, I want to be here in Knoxville. I want to be able to walk out of my camper. I want to see sprint cars sitting along the road. I want to see fans walking them down the sidewalk. So everybody wants to be here. But I do. I give credit. I was at the city council meeting in Knoxville last Monday, and I told them, I said, hey, I want to thank the city of Knoxville for all their help, but I also want to thank the residents of Knoxville. Even if you didn't attend the races, but you allowed someone to stay in your house, or you allowed someone to camp in your yard, I mean, that's huge, because everybody wants to be here. And I mean, the vast majority wants to be right here in Knoxville. So I hope we can continue to expand that and get more people right here. And then I think we can get to that point where we're getting closer to selling out all 4 days. Yes.
That's awesome. And to piggyback on that, how did the 360 Nationals and the Cappy look from ticket sales as well? Did you see? If it certainly felt like there was more people here than we have kind of seen over the last few years. Yes,
we were for the 360 Nationals and the Cappy, which I was a little concerned about the Cappy with the NASCAR race being on the same day, but we were up at least 500 people every night on all 4 of those nights. So and this is kind of unbelievable. So this is my 3rd year doing it, and we've been up. I've never had a down night yet. We've been up every night. So I mean, this is 3 years running now that we've done, but continue to do this. So we're definitely going the right direction. So we just got to keep that going. I had a lot of people tell me that how great of an event it is, and it's the best in the world. But I've already told my crew, I've already challenged them. I said, what do we got to do next? That's better, that no one else has done. And what can we do? And so we want to keep going in that direction.
I always got to keep pushing the envelope to get better, bigger and better. And I know that there was some news that came out. I saw a couple comments that you gave to some other reporters with regard to the NASCAR Cup Series race next year at Richmond, conflicting with the Saturday night of the Nationals. I know that you said that date and time is locked in. We're not moving. Do you want to expand on that at all, or kind of talk through that?
No, yeah. I mean, it's very unfortunate for Kyle and us, because I love having him here and he draws people. But I mean, we've already got the date set for the next 2 years. So it's no, we've already locked all that in, and the other, the traveling series, the Outlaws and the High Limit, they both know when it is. So everybody's kind of worked around that, and we stay right in tune with the state fair, and so they're back on that week too. So no, it's like I said, it's unfortunate, and I hate that it's that way, but unfortunately that's how it's going to be for 2026 anyway.
Is there a reason that it's not moved back, but now we have that opening week of August? Is there a reason for that, or is that just kind of how the calendar fell? And
Yeah, that's just kind of how the calendar rolls. That it moves up to that, and then all of a sudden it jumps back, and then we work back to the forward again for that. So over
So as of right now, the schedule length, we won't know the schedule for next year until probably winter or whatever. But the schedule length is still the same. It's just dates have kind of moved around.
Yep.
Awesome. What else you got, Josh?
Kind of moving into a little bit different direction. So, you are moving into year 4 as general manager, and just curious if you and the team, if you guys, kind of look at different motorsports or even professional sports and kind of pick things the way that maybe something in the NFL or the NBA, NHL games that they do to kind of help with fan engagement or enhancing the fan experience. To either retain people at the racetrack, get people there. Do you guys look at things like that? And if you have any certain examples, even if you're doing that, just kind of curious of what you do there.
Yeah, we kind of watch, or I especially do watch, any events like that. Now it's weird. Kendra told me, Kendra Jacobs, when I took over this job, she goes, you'll never go to another event now the same way. You can't just go as a fan anymore. You're always looking around to see, and even as far as where they've got the trash cans out, how the bathroom lines run, everything. So no, we are definitely looking into all that. We did the laser show this year, and it did turn out as good as I was hoping. One of the reasons because we had to start earlier, so it wasn't quite, it wasn't dark. Yeah. But when it come to whether to get the laser show or the race in, I was going to get the race in. So we did what we had, but I know like some of those big venues have went up to those. They get a wristband with all the fans, and it synchronized with the lights. We looked into that this year. We're not ready for that cost yet. Like that show is probably going to cost $100,000 to do on Saturday night, and I didn't think we're quite ready to justify that yet. I'd rather pay a little more in the purse and have a laser show. So, and I think it had turned out good. And we've had a lot of people that's reached out to me even after we did the laser show, and we could do this and do that. We tried to deal with Musco on Saturday night, and they've got lasers they can tie in the lights. So yeah, we're already talking about next year. What can we do next? And we were going to do the parachuters again this year with the early starting up on that, and even a little bit of wind on Saturday night. That was quite kind of questionable, so we ended up having to cut that out. But yeah, no, anything we can do. And then I'm getting ready to go to Pennsylvania here later this week, and I'm going to, I'm going to go to a couple different tracks, but then I'm going to talk to some other people out there, just see what other ideas they have and anything we can do to make the experience here better. And then I'm even going to talk to them, what can we do at the facility to make it generate revenue or be used that's maybe not even a racing event that we're completely missing, but if you have some kind of a the big flea market or something, I don't know, if you get people here once and they get to see the track and they're like, oh man, this is pretty cool, I might want to come back. So I think there's some opportunities there. So yeah, we're kind of looking into all those avenues right now with the schedule we have and the time I spent on the Nationals. I don't know how we fit all that in, but we'll figure it out. So but yeah, so I'm always, and if anybody's got any ideas, as a matter of fact, I even thought about putting out a social media post. I didn't know if it's good or bad, but I got pretty thick skin. So I was going to say, what would you do if you were in charge of the Knoxville Nationals? What would you do to make the fan engagement better? What would you cut out? Just to see if you never know if someone kicks up a good idea that you weren't even thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, being open to that feedback is great also, because it's so easy to just get set in ways and, this is how we've done it for so long, but, getting fresh ideas and just being open to something like that. I think it would be great if you did something, put a post out and hear directly from fans. Maybe, we didn't get the parachuters this year. Maybe we need to have Tony, Johnny, and Blake come down from the sky.
There we go.
Interesting. You and Blake?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing that.
I mean, Wade did it a couple years ago, so it's only fair.
But just for the record, Wade will never do it again.
No. You talk about the social media posts and asking questions. Earlier this year, the thoughts of a Silver Crown race at Knoxville were definitely tossed. A lot of people were thinking about it. And Knoxville put out a post of a quiz or a poll basically saying, what would the interest be? I can't remember what the interest was. I think it was mostly positive. Do we see a Silver Crown race happening at Knoxville within the next 10 years, do you think?
Oh, I'm not going to rule it out at all. We've had some, I would say, minor discussions with them. We haven't really got in as deep as we probably should. But yeah, once again, if it's something different that people want, and we can, make it work. We've got some supporters out there that are very behind it that say that they'll help support it. So yeah, like I said, I'm very open-minded to listen to anybody ideas that we can do. So I would not rule it out. No.
I think that'd be pretty fun. I know people we had talked to said that they would be very interested in that. So it'd be cool to see if that develops more over the years. We've seen some changes around the racetrack. With the Dennis Albaugh Sweet Tower out of turn 2. Is there any thoughts or renovations or improvements to the track or facility inside and out that might be coming in the future?
Yeah, we are. I've actually started talking about it and trying to going to get some bids here in a little bit. We might be putting some, as everybody knows that it's around the track. If we get rain on the day of, usually the issue we have is the infield. So we're actually maybe looking to expand the concrete layout in the infield to where we could better get the trucks in, the haulers in, and then safely be able to get ambulance and tow trucks to the racetrack easier. So I think that's one of the kind of the projects we're looking at this year. We've done the elevators, we've done the bathrooms. Okay, now what do we do? What's holding us up at the racetrack? So most of the time, if it's not raining during the time we want to race, Chris and the crew can get the track, and it's hard enough that the water will kind of run off of it and he can get it work, but unfortunately it runs to the infield and it sits there, and then we can't get the trucks and trailers out. So I think that's kind of one of the things that we'd like to look at doing yet this fall is doing some more concrete in the infield. But man, I went to figuring it up, and if you do everything that's left in there, it's like another 2 acres of concrete. When you start thinking of 2 acres of concrete, that's a lot of dollars. But I think we'll try to come up with something at least to do. Maybe we'll do it in phases to where we do some this year and some next year or something. But I think you'll see some there. And then I don't know if anything else that we have anything else as far as facility wise. We've about got all the bathrooms updated now. So I would like to put a little more concrete underneath the back stretch grandstand, which I know, once again, we only use it 4 days a year right now. Well, 5 if we do that at the Outlaw Show, some other things. But sometimes when it rains back there, it gets kind of bad underneath there. This week, if we could expand that a little bit, that would be good also. But I guess we are doing some, we've got a big, I forgot all about it. We've got a big electrical upgrade in our North Campground. So some of those power poles have been in there for 30 years, and they just got 30 amp service on them. And a lot of these campers now are all going to 50 amp, and they're getting bigger. So as soon as late model nationals over, there's 125 sites out there, I think, that we're going to redo all the electrical in that and get that updated. So that'll be ready to go this spring. So that'll be a big help. And we got another section that we'll probably do again next year. So, and then we'll pretty much have that updated out there. So continue to work on the electrical too. It's you can never get enough, and just everybody from the bigger campers to motorhomes and the electricians are always telling me, man, you're running out of power, so we got something different. But yeah, it's a $250,000 upgrade out there, I think, or something. So it just takes a lot to keep everything going, and so that is one of the projects we're going to be working on this fall.
That's cool.
Awesome.
You opened it up, just kind of wrapping us up here. You opened it up. You said you love your job. What do you love most about it? Obviously, it's Knoxville. I'd always say that it's always the people and whatnot. But what would you say you love most about being this GM here for this track?
It's just you get all the people you get to work with every day, and to put on the biggest sprint car race and the biggest family gathering party, whatever you want to call it. It's awesome. Not my previous job, it served me well financially, and it was a good job. But I remember going there lots of days and just dreading going to work. I haven't had that problem yet coming here, and it's matter of fact, my kids make fun of me too. But they got that Life 360 app on my phone, and it's this in July. It says, "Hey, we see you've moved. You now live at 1000 North Lincoln," so it thinks I live here, and which it was kind of right. I think July and August I only stayed at home 4 days. I stayed here the rest of the time, so I do spend a lot of time. But no, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. I love telling people about it. I love bringing new people here to it. It's just it's all around. It's phenomenal.
Well, we appreciate how accessible you are, how open you are to hearing feedback, and that's all you can ask for from somebody in your position. And want to thank you again. It was really cool that we were able to have our show up on the stage during nationals too. And maybe that's something we can look at doing again in the future. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. No, you guys have done a great job. Like I was telling you, here earlier, when you started off, I didn't know how it would go. I was a little nervous, thinking, "Oh, I got one of my employees on there." But you guys have done a home run job.
Thank you.
You've done really good at this, and Blake's done really good at this show, and is announced a job for me. He's done phenomenal there. I'm really glad to have him part of the team, and so you guys have done really good. I haven't had one negative comment, anything you guys have said on there that they thought it was bad for Knoxville Raceway or nothing. So, no, lots of good stuff, and I enjoy listening to it.
I think
Thank you very much.
That was one of the first things Josh and Kade and us, and even me jumping on. It was that this is positive. If there's times where it's like something just doesn't go Knoxville's way, it stinks, but it's always positive. And when I was wearing the pit crew shirt earlier in the season, everyone's like, "All right, you can't say anything bad."
No, you guys have done great. It's been good. So
it's awesome. Well, Jason, we appreciate your time. Good luck here for a short break. Get you back for 3 days here for Late Model Nationals, but we appreciate the time.
All right, thank you guys very much.
Thanks
Thank you.
so much, Jason.
That was a fun chat with General Manager Jason Reed. Wish you would have been able to make it, Kade. You're probably still partying down at Knoxville for all we knew, but we'll definitely be catching up with him. we really wanted to get him early in the year to kind of preview things, and I think that is definitely going to be something that we do. This kind of came together in a crazy way, so looking forward to chatting with him. Basically, it wraps it up for us at Knoxville for the regular or the real season, I guess. But we're not going anywhere, guys. Knoxville Knights, in the words of I don't remember his character's name, but in the Wolf of Wall Street, not freaking leaving. So we will be here. We're going to be probably on the grounds at least for Saturday of the Lucas Oil Late Model Nationals. That's the next event and the only event left at Knoxville, September 18th through September 20th. It'll also be on Flow Racing, not on Dirt Vision. Flow is going to have the coverage of that 3-day event. That's about it, boys. I think it pretty much wraps it up. Make sure that you're subscribed on YouTube. We're not forgetting about you guys that listen on the audio feed on your podcast platform, but we've definitely seen that you guys love the video side of things, and so we're really going to be pushing that. We're going to kind of work around some schedules here with Blake and Kade and myself over September, but the plan is still to be live on Monday nights now at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you're following us there. Follow us on the platforms that you want to listen or watch us on. We will be there. Guys, got any closing thoughts?
Fun season. Hope to see everyone back for Late Model Nationals, and it was a fun year. Glad Kade got him one.
About damn time.
About damn time.
No more Rip Bozo for this year.
Congratulations again, Kade. I know there is.
Thank you.
We were pulling for you, of course, but definitely saw some podcast fans that were really excited for Kade Higday to park that damn Knoxville Knights 24H in Victory Lane. Hopefully, we do that many more times next year, and we can have more fun shows like this. So, like I said, make sure you're subscribed. If not, we'll see you guys next Monday at 7 p.m. Later.